What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the European Supercup final post-match analysis video. And Liverpool are the Supercup champions. After winning the Champions League, Liverpool have won the European Supercup as well for the fourth time in their history. Now I think only two clubs are ahead of Liverpool in terms of European Supercup trophies. I think one of them is Barcelona, the other one is maybe Real Madrid or something like that. And this was a very pulsating game and very entertaining game, very nerve-wracking, but ultimately I think Liverpool only just but deserved to win this trophy because we were the better team for large parts of the game. The first 15 minutes and the majority of the second half we were much better than Chelsea, and also in extra time we had some chances. The last 10 minutes of extra time Chelsea were the better team, so they could have won it. But this was a very pulsating game. So let me know, what did you think of the performance? Do you think the Liverpool as winners were the deserved winners, or do you think Chelsea should have won? Let me know in the comments below. How did you see VAR? Because there were some controversial decisions, like the penalty which Jorginho scored from. It wasn't a penalty. BT Sports showed an angle where it was clear that Adrian didn't really touch Tammy Abraham, who exaggerated the contact. And also on the winning penalty, ironically, the same Tammy Abraham's penalty got saved, but Adrian was off his line. Both his feet weren't on the line. They weren't on the line. So if you go by the rules, that penalty should have been retaken. So a lot of controversial decisions still, even though VAR was in effect in this game. And I'm just so happy that Liverpool are now officially the best team in Europe after winning the Champions League and beating Europa League winners Chelsea as well. But in the first half, Chelsea were the better team, we have to say. But I think in the second half, with the tactical changes that Jurgen Klopp made, especially with Firmino coming on, Liverpool really flipped the game on its head and turned it around massively. The first 15 minutes, actually, Liverpool started well. Salah could have scored a couple of chances. I was so disappointed that Salah couldn't get on the score sheet, because he had a couple of one-on-ones against the goalkeeper. But Kepa made some terrific saves as well. But my man of the match was Sadio Mane. I think he was outstanding, and I was a little bit sad when Mane had to be taken off in extra time because of tiredness probably, and because Jurgen Klopp wanted to protect him and didn't want to overplay him a little bit. But at halftime, Oxlade-Chamberlain came off, who I thought was very isolated on the wing and he lacked match fitness. But straight away, Firmino came on and we looked like a completely different team. Honestly, we looked like a much better side. Like if I was watching a completely different side. The first half, it was very disappointing because Joe Gomez is not really an out-and-out right back. Chelsea didn't really got worried with Joe Gomez's attacking potential, and we missed Trent Alexander-Arnold's long balls and great through balls and diagonal balls in the first half. Also, we missed Firmino's engine and creativity and the way that he links the midfield with the attack. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on the wing looked very isolated. He hardly ever touched the ball. Also, James Milner maybe had a little bit of an off game. He was struggling to get into the game much. So Wijnaldum also came on for Milner in the 64th minute. But straight away after Firmino came on, just 1 minute later, Firmino gets an assist and Mane scores past Kepa, who actually almost saved Mane's shot, but in the end Mane could bust his way through and score into the empty net. And then for the majority of the second half, Liverpool were the better team, and overall Liverpool had 11 shots on target. Chelsea only had 6 shots on target, so that's why I said that only just, but Liverpool deserved to win this game. And in the second half, Liverpool had 5 shots on target, Chelsea had 0 shots on target. So I think it was a much better second half performance. And also the way Pulisic scored in the second half was very impressive, or maybe was it in the first half, I'm not sure. But actually Chelsea scored 2 goals which was ruled out by VAR for offside, and both were the correct decisions, by the way. But this new rule is still very strange, and it needs a little bit of getting used to, that the linesman isn't flagging for offside, even if he, or in this case she, thinks it's offside. He waits, or he or she waits until the whole play is completed, and then he or she flags the offside flag if he thinks it's offside, and then the VAR checks it. So in this case, both Pulisic and Mason Mount put the ball into the back of the net. Pulisic, I think, in the second half, and Mason Mount in extra time, and both were ruled out for offside, and rightfully so. And by the way, Adrian made some very, very impressive saves, but I also think that he was maybe a little bit rash coming out, but to try and block Tammy Abraham's cross or shot. But in the end, Adrian didn't really touch Tammy Abraham, but he fell over like he was shot. It was just ridiculous, and multiple angles showed through the replay that it was very difficult to tell whether Adrian got a touch on Tammy Abraham or not. But there was one angle from the other side of the pitch which showed that Adrian didn't really touch Tammy Abraham, who exaggerated the contact. Still, VAR didn't overrule it, so the system is still not perfect. It can still make mistakes, because probably in the VAR room there are also humans working there, so they can make mistakes as well. And Jorginho equalized with a very ice cool penalty. But by the way, let's talk about Sadio Mane's second goal in the 95th minute. A brilliant counter-attack, and Liverpool, I think it was Firmino again, who gets 2 assists, Firmino, in the cup final. What a performance. So Firmino cuts the ball back to Sadio Mane, and Mane just side foots it, inch perfect, in off the bottom of the crossbar and into the back of the net. What a brilliant shot by Mane, and a fantastic goal. And that's why he was my man of the match. He was a constant threat on Liverpool's left-hand side, and I really hope that Mane can stay fit for the whole of the season, because then again he will score probably 25 plus goals again this season. The penalty shootout was interesting. I mean, both Adrian and Kepa got very close to some penalties, but actually nobody made a mistake. Everybody scored their penalties. Firmino, Fabinho, Origi, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah all scored Liverpool's penalties. But then up stepped Tammy Abraham, and Adrian, in his first start for Liverpool, made a big save. What a moment in his career. Just take this into context. Adrian was a free agent just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was just training on his own. He didn't know which club he will play for. And then in comes Liverpool. They call him up. They sign him, of course, as a free agent. And Adrian thinks, I will sit on the bench comfortably, and then probably in the League Cup I will make my debut. And in his first game where he signed, he witnesses Alisson getting a bad injury, a calf injury. Alisson will be out for like 4 or 5 weeks, and Adrian has to come in, and now he will play. He will be our first choice goalkeeper for the next month. And what a way to become a Liverpool legend. Any goalkeeper who saves a penalty in a European Cup final, which results in Liverpool winning that European Cup final, is a legend in my book. So Adrian instantly is a legend, and instantly he wins a European trophy in his first start. What a ratio. 1 game for Adrian, 1 start I mean, and 1 European trophy. Well done, mate. Well done. Hats off. And now, if you count the Football League titles, I mean the first division, so the English first division titles, the League Cups, the FA Cups, the Champions Leagues, and the European like UEFA Cup and Cup Winners' Cup and European Supercup trophies, Liverpool are now the most successful English club with 43 trophies, and Man United have 42, something like that. So officially Liverpool are now the most successful and the biggest club in England, which I'm so happy for that, and I'm really proud of the boys. I think overall we deserved it, and the way Jurgen Klopp celebrated the winning penalty save by Adrian was just magnificent. He was like in a huddle with the bench, with the assistant managers, and as soon as Adrian kicks the ball out, he saved it with his feet. He was running down the touchline and running straight towards Adrian, who was already, when Jurgen Klopp got there, of course he's not the fastest of the Liverpool squad, so Jurgen Klopp was probably outran by half of the Liverpool squad. By the time he got there, there was already a big huddle, and Jurgen Klopp jumped on them and hugged everyone, and it was just brilliant to see. And Jordan Henderson lifts the second European trophy in like 3 months. What a brilliant achievement for Jordan Henderson. So hats off to all the Liverpool players. I'm so happy for them. And I think this is only the first or second step for Liverpool. We still have the Club World Cup to compete in, and I really hope that we will win that. We will probably not come up against as good a team as Chelsea. I have to give huge credit to Chelsea, and especially to Frank Lampard, who looks like a very exciting young manager. And it is a very unlucky start in his managerial career at Chelsea, because in the first game against Man United, Chelsea actually played well. It's very strange to say, because they lost 4-0. And in this game also Chelsea played well. They have the very organized, very good setup, and they built up some really good attacks. It was actually interesting and fun to watch Chelsea play football today. I have to admit that as a Liverpool fan. So I think the future is very bright, and even though Chelsea lost this cup final on penalties, the Chelsea fans can be very optimistic about the future. That's my opinion on Chelsea and Frank Lampard. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.